pressure plate alarm, you'll need a cardboard base, a battery holder, a couple of batteries that fit the battery holder, a buzzer, a smaller piece of cardboard, sponge. I used a sponge from a vitamin box. It could also be a piece of a bath sponge. You'll also need some tin foil. Lay out space on your baseboard for your buzzer and your batteries and your pressure plate in such a way that the wires will easily reach each other but not be too close. Then you need to secure your buzzer onto the board. I've done that by taking a paper clip and using the paper clip as a piece of wire and making holes in the board and sticking it through that way. The battery I simply attached it with sellotape. I'm sure you could find a more elegant way to do it. You could have used cable ties or something like that. The important thing here is that the red wires touch the red wires and the black wires are connected to the black wires. The colored part of the wire is the insulation, so electricity cannot pass through that. So you need to make sure that the ends of the wires are stripped between 0.5 centimeter and 1 centimeter, so that you can make sure that wire touches wire. In other words, the conductor that is on the inside of the wire touches the conductor that's on the inside of the other piece of wire. Right, so now I'm going to go ahead and connect the two black wires. As you can see, I'm twisting the metal parts together to make sure that there is a firm connection. Because I'm working with a very low voltage direct current, in other words DC, it is safe for me to work with, but do not work with more than 6 volts. I'm working with 3 volts because each Penlight battery is 1.5 volts. I don't have proper insulation tape, so I'm just using sellotape, which is second best, but it works. I do not recommend it if you're using any higher kind of voltage, because it'll just melt it, and that could be very dangerous. It could create a fire, so never do that. But never work with higher voltages unless you are qualified. Right, now I'm going to do the bottom part of the pressure plate. It's very important that the wire, the metal part of the wire, is connected directly to the metal of the foil. So I'm just folding it up neatly so that it fits in the little space that I've designated for that. And I'm also making sure that the metal part of the wire, which is attached from the battery, is connected on the inside directly with the metal part of the tin foil. Now I'm just going to paste it down. I'm just going to paste around the edges. I do not want to cover the foil, because then I'm going to create an insulation which will just be a barrier, so the electricity cannot pass from the one plate to the other, and then it will not work. Right, so there I've now done the bottom part. Now I need to do the top part. So for the top part, what I did is I cut up a piece of sponge and I just stuck it around the edge. The sponge I cut it quite thin because I wanted to be able to press down fairly easily, but when I release it, when it doesn't have any pressure on it, I want it to go back so that it's not touching. In other words, so there's air between the two. Okay, so now I'm just trying to make it fit, folding it nicely, and there is the wire coming from the buzzer that is going to be wrapped in the foil, just ensuring that the metal part of the wire is connected to the metal part of the foil. Now I'm just going to make sure it stays in place with a couple of pieces of tape. Again, I don't want to cover the foil completely because I need the two foil plates to connect. So at the moment, the circuit is open. The minute I press down, the circuit is closed. A closed circuit means it's on. An open circuit means it's off. So the pressure plate has become the switch because it breaks or connects, closes or opens the circuit. Okay. As a little joke, I've written welcome on the pressure plate. So maybe it could be like a doorbell. Depends on the sound it makes. Right, so now let's just look at the other components. We've got a buzzer. The buzzer is a load because it consumes the electricity. It also converts the electrical energy into sound energy. The buzzer's symbol looks almost like a wine glass. Then we've got the battery. Short and long, short and long. It always looks like that. That is for the symbol for two batteries. And now we've got the switch. What would this symbol for a pressure plate be? Yes, it is just a switch because it functions exactly as a switch would function. Right, so now I'm going to go ahead and test it. So block your ears because here it comes. So when it's not connected,